welcome to session 3 in week 6 of our 8-week stepper endurance series. My name is Mokhadi Make. If you're just joining us, you're so very much welcome. Take the time to read the details in the caption to see how this outline has been unfolding. So please don't forget to hydrate. And let's go on and get on our steppers. We're gonna warm up first for about 5 to 7 minutes. So what we're going to need today, get your background music going as per usual. And what you're going to need today is either your resistance bands, your dumbbells or kettlebells, or any form of weights that you can add onto your body. Listen to some music, and you may want to listen to some instructions every now and then, but by now I think you all know the drill. So while we're warming up, I'd like to talk about something, a frequent question that I get, and concerning the nutritional aspect of my journey. So I think I have emphasized that in addition to exercise, the nutritional aspect of things are equally important, if not more important. And you have to take into account things like drinking adequate amount of water, getting sufficient sleep, making sure that you're resting your body and your muscles are recovering. That's why you need quality sleep. And most of you are asking me questions to explain more in depth about the nutritional aspect of my weight loss journey or fitness journey. So I have tried to explain it before in other videos and through other social media platforms, and give glimpses here and there of what my diet looks like, and to also explain, but it seems like perhaps it's a bit unclear, or people need me to explain more in detail. So I'm gonna make another attempt to explain. And before I explain, I want you to note that I am not a nutritionist, I'm not a dietitian, I am not a fitness trainer, nor am I a medical practitioner. So I'm just answering questions and actually explaining my own experience and what I have done on this journey. So before anything, just make sure that you consult your healthcare provider, especially if you are dependent on medication or you have underlying health conditions, before making any dietary changes. Make sure. And if you do, you must make sure that you also do it under the supervision of your medical practitioners. So with that being said, I decided to go for a low carbohydrate diet, low carbohydrate, high fat. Okay, the word fat sounds scary for most people, but I'll do my best to try and explain and break it down. So essentially, carbohydrates are starch. Starch is glucose, glucose is sugar, and therefore carbohydrate is sugar. So I don't like to use the word sugar because people often associate sugar with things like fast food, processed foods like snacks, as we call them, candy, soda, cakes, sweets, whatever. That's what they associate sugar with. Okay, so carbohydrates are divided into complex and simple carbohydrates. So even those complex carbohydrates that you get from fruit and vegetables and grains are also sugar. So there are vegetables that have a high sugar content. There is fruit that contains high sugar levels. So you need to, so I went on and started looking up the kind of foods that contain too much carbohydrate, also known as sugar. So in this video, I'll use the word carbohydrate and sugar interchangeably. So you must know that if I'm talking about carbohydrates, I'm talking about sugar. So let's pick up the pace. Follow along as I'm talking. So basically what my diet is all about is that I reduced my sugar intake to 50 grams per day. Why am I doing that? Well, the body uses sugar, okay, as a primary source of energy, for fuel, for our daily activities, the exercises that we're doing here, whatever physical activities that you have going on throughout the day, and your bodily processes. And it uses up glucose as its primary source of energy. Therefore, whatever sugar intake you consume, or whatever sugar content you consume, the body will use it to carry out those activities. And any excess sugar that wasn't used up by the body will then get stored in your system, in your body, as fat. And that's how you gain weight. So by reducing my sugar intake to less than 50 grams a day, I then deprive the body of its primary source of energy. That sounds bad, but the body is smart. What the body does is it then adapts and then seeks an alternative source of fuel. So because there's no glucose, I'm not providing it with glucose, it will then seek out that alternative source from my body, which is the fat that was stored in my body. So my body will then adapt and start using fat as a primary source of fuel rather than glucose. Okay, so basically that's how my nutritional journey has unfolded. So the reason why I said I avoid using the word sugar is because that means people don't associate, like for example, when you say sugary foods, people don't associate that with like potatoes. Those are high in carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is sugar. Although potatoes are, they're vegetables, you know, and fruits, they are packed with nutrients and minerals and vitamins that are very important. So I can't deny that. However, there are other vegetables that can still provide the same amount of nutrients, vitamins and minerals, except they are low in sugar quantity. Examples of those are green vegetables, cucumber, cabbage, spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, peppers, all those sort of vegetables. They contain a lot of vitamins and minerals as well. However, they are low in sugar in comparison to other vegetables. So that's what I did. So eliminating even things like pasta, bread, all those things. So when one is preparing the food, when I was preparing my food, I like to give an example with one of my favorite dishes, which is cream spinach. I love spinach. Spinach is an excellent vegetable, an excellent source of vitamins, minerals, and it's great. It's healthy for you, good for you. So usually some recipes of cream spinach would need you to use flour to thicken the creaminess. So you're going to make cream spinach, remember? So you put in cream, you put in flour, you put in a sauce called cream of mushroom, something of that sort, to give it that mushroom flavor. And then that would be your cream spinach. That's a basic recipe. So I'm just giving you a practical example of how I went about adjusting the sugar content. Now, spinach is low in carbohydrate, it's low in sugar. So instead of using flour to thicken my cream spinach, I would then use, still using fresh cream, I can chop fresh mushrooms. Okay, I'm getting carried away. Let's pick up our dumbbells and continue to work on. Let's work on our midsection. So, where was I? Oh, cream spinach. So you chop up your spinach, and then you can use fresh mushrooms, which are also nutritious and low in sugar. And then onions. Onions tend to have high carbohydrates in comparison to other vegetables, so it's always good to use it in moderation. A quarter of it, don't go above a quarter of it at a time. And then you can use fresh cream, usually low in carbohydrates. And to thicken your spinach, your cream spinach, I like to add then grated cheese, hard cheese. Hard cheese is not your processed cheese. Then I would grate the cheese to thicken it instead of adding flour. Does that make sense? Now, I didn't add any soup packet to my spinach. I didn't add any flour. I didn't add any carbohydrates to a vegetable that was naturally low in carbohydrates. So I now have my cream spinach, and it is still a cream spinach with low sugar content. That's what I did. And that's what a low carbohydrate means. And if you check all these ingredients that I just given an example of, full cream is high in fat. Cheese is high in fat. So that's what I mean when I say a low carbohydrate, high fat. And when I'm talking about fats, I'm talking about unaltered fats. Examples of those are olive oil, avocado, coconut oil, salmon, trout, any sort of meat, lamb chops, beef, short ribs, pork, chicken wings. What else? Let's go. Let's step. So any kind of meat, basically. Vegetables, of course, that are low in carbohydrate. You can't go for things like potatoes. Sweet potatoes are relatively lower in comparison to ordinary potato, but during my first 3 months, I avoided things like sweet potato and butternut, things like that. I avoided those. But now I eat them sometimes. And what did I want to say? And I can't believe I forgot what I wanted to say. Anyway, that's what my diet looks like. So eating healthy fats, and because now my body has switched to using fat as the primary source of energy. And now I use exercise to aid with that, to continue to burn some of the stored fat in my body as energy, and I also want to tone. I also want a clear mind. I want an energy boost. I want to sleep better. I want to be toned. I want good cardiovascular health. That's why I exercise. Okay, so after reaching my goal, I then right now I'm focusing on toning. I just want to tone. I just want to build muscle. So increasing my protein in the food that I eat, vegetables and fish and meats that are high in protein. And also I am gradually increasing carbohydrates back into my diet, but not simple carbohydrates like your chocolates, your sweets and candy and sodas. I may have a slice of cake every now and then, but it's not a regular thing. So I now have increased and gradually increasing my carbohydrate intake, my sugar intake, to roughly about 80 to 100 grams a day, and exercising. And in that way, I am monitoring my weight, and it has plateaued. I'm not losing, I'm not gaining. Okay, so in a nutshell, that's basically how I do my things. I hope I explained it better, although I took a long time to explain. So let's get to it. Let's work now. Let's go. Move. Step. 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 Move it. Move it. Move it. Move it. Move. 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 Step. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This feels so good, I don't want to stop. Step. 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 Let's do some lateral arm raises. Let's go. Step. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. 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 And step. 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 Move it. Move it. Move it. Move it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's put our dumbbells down, give our arms a little break, and as we are giving our arms a little break, get your midsection involved. Step, twist it, twist, 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 step, 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 step. Move it, move it, step, 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 step. We're gonna go now and pick up our kettlebells. My kettlebells are 4 kilograms each, meaning I'm adding a tension of 8 kilograms to my body. And the stepper has now has an additional weight in addition to the weight it was carrying, which is my body mass. And now it's got an additional 8 kilograms on it. Step. That's why you need to take into account the weight limit capacity of your stepper. Step. Lift your glutes. Step. 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 Feel your glutes. Step. Move it. Step. Push. 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 And 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 push. 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 Step. 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 Move. 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 Step. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. 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 It feels good, doesn't it? Step. 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 I cannot believe how much I'm starting to enjoy working out. All because I made it a habit and I started liking it. Step. 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 It's a mindset thing. It's a mind shift. It's a mindset. It's a mind shift. Your attitude. Attitude. Move. 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 Let's work our midsection one more time. Step. 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 Move. Step. Step. Hula hoop. Hula hoop. Hula hoop. How you would go if you had a hula hoop around your waist. Step. 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 Anti-clockwise now. Step. Hula hoop it. Hula hoop it. Hula hoop it. Hula hoop it. Step. 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 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Move. 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 And move. And step. 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 step, 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 move, move, step, 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 move, 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 step, 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 step. I'm squatting a little. I just want to walk my thighs and my glute muscles. Let's go. Step, 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 move, 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 step, get it, 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 get it. So, in terms of diet and nutrition, pick, it's not, pick whatever works for you. Experiment, research, consult your healthcare provider, and do what is practical for you and your family and what is working for you. What I'm doing may not be a solution for everybody. Step, but it's working for me. Step, step. I started reducing sugar and I started seeing changes. Step, step, step. We're gonna get ready to sprint it. Okay? Step. Let's go. Step, 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 step. Move, move, move. Sprint it. Sprint, 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 sprint. Give it a rest. Give it a rest. Step, step, step. One more time. Sprint, 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 sprint. Wow, my glutes are feeling it right now. Jeez. Sprint, sprint. Oh, kidoki. Now, you can call it a day. Any questions? Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you next time.